Joe, thanks for doing this. I got to ask you right out of the gate here. You've called the last 10 playoff clinchers for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Is there a different feel in this one tonight?
Well, first off, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on. I sincerely hope so, Nikki, and I think, and you guys have talked about it, about the makeup, the difference in this team, and I think over the last 5 or 6 years, I think a lot of people have thought, do they have the physicality and the toughness and the ability to go to the dirty areas to score the dirty goals? And I don't think anybody felt that had been fully addressed. And I think that Kyle Dubas did a marvelous job at the trade deadline and prior to it in making those adjustments. And I think that we're seeing that. And then you add the addition of Matthew Nyes, who has been a bit of a revelation too. So it is a different group. Yes, it's the core is there. Yes, they're the ones that have to stir the drink. But I think there's a couple of guys behind the bar with the mixology course, too, that know how to stir up a few things as well.
Joe, before we had you on, I was talking with our producer, Sammy McKee, just about, you've been doing this for a while now. And we were saying, I think it's been almost 40 years you've been calling games, Joe. I wanted to get your sense for what makes this team unique or different to call. You've seen this core go at it for 7 years now, or whatever the number is exactly. But what about this group is different than other teams that you've called over the years?
Well, they can score in a lot of different ways. A lot of other teams really couldn't. I think that at this point, you can see that it is spread throughout the lineup. Ryan O'Reilly's made an enormous difference. And it was interesting when he arrived before he was hurt. The tinkering, was it better for him to play on the wing with Tavares? Should he play in the middle with Tavares on the wing? Would it be better to have the three-headed monster down the middle? And I think we've seen that after Sheldon Keefe went through all of these little variations, I think that he has kind of fell into the fact that the three-headed monster is something that makes other teams have a difficult chore, especially on home ice when you get the last change. So I think that's probably Barney, something that I would say is a lot different with this group. But again, it's the physicality. It's the Luke Shens and the Jake McCabe's and people like that who are not only going to accept being pushed, but they're going to push back and they're going to instigate a lot of pushing. So I think that's the biggest change.
Joe, if we go back in recent Leaf history, the three eras that Leaf fans knew they had some respect amongst the hockey world would have been the run that Dougie Gilmour had and gave right through that overtime goal behind the net. There's the Mats era with the Roberts and the Nieuwendijks against Ottawa. And then there's a potential for this one as well. And so many things in life has changed. But, for the Leaf fan, it's amazing. They've never wavered. They're still there. They're in droves. And tonight we'll feel it again.
Nick, it's one of the most unique sports franchises in the world. Never mind hockey or whatever. It's a lot like, and I use the analogy of European football and club football, the Liverpool, Manchester United. It circumvents the globe. It never wavers. It gets pissed. And it gets pissed off, but it's not going to leave, right? And I think that's what we see, and they deserve it. They really do, and they have been loyal. When you down 4-1, and all of a sudden Matthew scores, no one's left Maple Leaf Square. No one's left, and you know what? I thought that speaks volumes of this fan group, and they deserve to have a bit of a fun with it and everything else. And the other thing I said to a lot of people this year is that this group needs a Nicky Borishevsky or a Corey Cross, something that's going to happen that is from the hockey gods. Nicky just touching the puck from Bob Rouse, and they score. Corey Cross, who hadn't scored a goal in God knows how long, has a seeing eye shot. Well, Morgan Riley had a seeing eye shot. And maybe our Nicky Borashevsky all of a sudden turns out to be Alex Kerfoot. So there have been a lot of breaks that have gone the wrong way for this team and for this group itself. And maybe, just maybe, something is starting to turn in the other cheek. So let's keep our fingers crossed in that department. I think they deserve it.